just smoked the sheriff.
Genesis 27:3. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. This was Isaac talking to his son Esau. Before Isaac was about to pass, he wanted to share his blessing with Esau over a meal of venison. Even as far back as the times of the Bible, venison has been important to the human race. So now, join me and my blue-collar team as we chase giant whitetails across the Midwest. Our goal is to make you a better hunter. I'm Ben Rising, and this is Whitetail Edge.
Thank you, God, Jesus Christ, this amazing dream. Yeah, baby.
I'm about to go lay my hands on probably the biggest buck I've ever shot.
I just smoked the sheriff. Yep, he's going down, sis.
It's a beautiful buck. I couldn't be more happy to take him back home to Indiana.
There he is. Oh my gosh.
I just smoked a giant on a Black Widow mock scrape, baby. Yes.
Hi, and welcome to Whitetail Edge, Season 6. It's hard to believe, but we're already at our 6th season here at Whitetail Edge with this online hunting show. If you'd asked me, did I ever think that we'd get this far already, I probably back in the day would have guessed no. But I've been blessed. I've surrounded myself with a good team, good editors. We've just made the right moves, and the good Lord has kind of been behind us this whole way. So we keep trucking along, and I just want to thank all the sponsors that have supported Whitetail Edge from the start. Without you, we couldn't do it, and without you fans watching, we wouldn't have a show.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes. I smoked him, dude! Oh my gosh!
On this episode of Whitetail Edge, we're going to follow Dylan Gandee, a new team member from Ohio, as he goes after a big deer he calls the sheriff. Now Dylan put a lot of work in this year after this deer, and I've known Dylan for a long time, probably since 2013 I think I've known Dylan, 14 somewhere in there. Got a lot of talent, he's learning how to edit, just he really loves Whitetail Edge and everything about it. He's refreshing because he has that pizzazz about him and always wanting to learn more about deer, put more into it. He wants the show to grow. Deer prep is almost year-round, basically, if you're a true deer hunter. From hanging stands to putting up trail cameras, trimming shooting lanes, planting food plots, whatever it may be out there, seems like there's always something to do to prep for deer season. Sometimes we make up things to do just because we want to be out there. As I've gotten older, I kind of slow down a little bit and I don't get as jacked up too early about doing things too soon. I tend to typically have a lot of clover plots in, perennial, that I can mow every year, kind of maintain them to where I don't have to replant them all the time. But I like to do fall plots. I like to put some fall blends in that, are annuals that we got to do every fall with that certain kind of blends that really draw deer when it comes to hunting season. It's funny because one of the same times that Dylan was prepping for the sheriff, I was actually prepping in Illinois for a couple deer that I was going to chase.
So we're out here putting our stick and pick in the tree. We're in Illinois. We just hung a stand down in this valley, and I got another stand up here in this point, up here in this open. That's a bedding area stand. Last resort, really got to be aggressive type stand. This up here is a fringe edge stand, which I like the most, Whitetail Edge. I like to be sneaky, get in on these deer, catch them moving on the right days. But I'm putting another Spartan camera here. And then this way we can get this to where I want it. And we can have these things really make it nice though for And you can adjust it any way you want. And you just take the camera. Helps if you hit the hole. You can actually adjust it this way, so you can turn it sideways, whichever way you want. You can move it this way, back and forth. So, multiple different ways. But that's where the stick and pick comes in handy for us, hanging Spartan cameras.
Alright, so we're getting a little closer to season, so kind of trying to hone in on the sheriff. Sneaking in here, we're pretty close to where I believe he's bedding. He's bedding down here in this creek bottom, coming out in this somewhat of a staging area and feeding out into this big crop field right here. And once he gets across that crop field, I got some big tine that he's hitting a little bit after dark. And well, that's the biggest problem, is he's hitting it after dark. But the big tine is allowing me to, you know, kind of figure out where what I would call his final destination for the evening. That's the farthest he's gonna go. You know, so I got pictures of him over there. I put it out in the bean field. I was catching him coming back to this area. And so I want to slap this Go Cam up here in this and just, you know, see if I can catch him early in the morning on his feet around here. And then, you know, I'm going to have a little better idea where he's sleeping. So.
Well, it is October 1st. It's 7:56 in the morning. I'm just getting ready to pull into the job site. Got to work today, but getting off a little bit early today, and I'm gonna go sit in the stand for the first time this season. We had a cold front come in starting yesterday, and it's really cooled off a lot. 46 degrees right now. Pressure's rising. It's almost to that 30 mark. It will be at that 30 mark tomorrow. So this evening and tomorrow evening, I'm going to be hopping in the stand and seeing if I can catch the sheriff slipping up. Big 10 point. Had him last year. Used to call him the Big 8. He's no longer an 8, and he's the king around there. So he is the sheriff. And I'm hoping I can catch up with him tonight. We'll see what happens. Last cold front we had was, I want to say it was the 18th, 19th, and 20th. So not too long ago. Today's like I said, it's the 1st of October. He was on his feet, daylight with camera light, those 3 nights in a row, that last cold front. This is the first cold front we've had since then. It heated up to 80 degrees after that first cold front. It's cooled right back down to that same temperature that brought him in the first time. So I'm hoping he just makes a mistake tonight and we can catch up with him. I've got an idea. I'm gonna hunt this stand tonight and tomorrow. We got good wind for it. If it doesn't end up working out Thursday or Friday, Saturday morning, well, not Saturday morning, around noon or whatever, I'm gonna go in, check a couple cameras, and go off of what the cameras are telling me. I got a stand I can hang up in a different location. I'll probably end up doing that. I don't want to overhunt that the one stand, so we'll just have to see what happens. It's gonna be a long day for me. I'm ready to get out and stand.
What's up, guys? It's October 2nd, Friday, October 2nd. Hunted last night. Kind of wanted to jump on this Onyx map and show you guys what I'm working with trying to kill the sheriff. So last night I walked this big soybean field here, big soybean field here,
walked up the edge of this field, hopped in a tree stand that I have right here sitting over some big tine. That's where I've been getting a lot of pictures of the sheriff. A week before season on a cold front, much like we're in right now, on the 18th, 19th, 20th, he daylighted at 7:45, 8:19, 7:39, 3 days. I could have killed him right in a row. However, it wasn't season, couldn't hunt. I have a Spartan here, and I caught pictures of him after feeding in this big tine, feeding back out into the soybean field, working his way south to where I believe he's bedding right down in here. I have a Spartan here, went and checked cameras today, and he was on it this morning at 6:11 a.m. He's got to be right down in here somewhere. I have a stand right here in this corner. However, I'm going to have to stay out of this place tonight. Probably going to go doe hunting at my parents', but I've got a terrible wind. I've got a northwest wind blowing right down into where I believe he's bedding right in here. So I'm going to have to stay out. Tomorrow, winds are looking a little better. We'll see what happens. They're saying a south wind, so, you know, that'll work for me. I have a tree stand right here, and I believe that's where I'm going to be sitting tomorrow. I know he's coming out, feeding in this big soybean field before hitting that big time pile. I have some Spartans farther north of this, and I've never gotten a picture of him farther north. His home range is right here, and he does not seem to go any further. He comes in from the south, exits to the south. History says, you know, I've got a ton of pictures of him from last year of him hanging out right here. This is certainly the core area. Got pictures of him in July when I first caught him again this year, hanging out here. I mean, this is where it's going to happen. I've got a stand here. I don't know if I should have one here. I don't know. Tomorrow I want to slip in that stand and at least observe, see what happens. You know, I think if anything, I'm going to learn a little bit more about the sheriff. However, this cold front, it's going to be heating up here soon, and I want to hurry up and try to get him killed on this cold front. I believe it's going to have him on his feet early. But anyway, I'm rambling here. I'm going to sit right here in this tree tomorrow night, October the 3rd. We'll see what happens.
So as October's rolling around, I decided to make a trip to Illinois, you know, for an early October hunt. The red moon is just a couple days away. It's supposed to start on October 5th. Here it is, the 3rd, my first sit in Illinois, and I'm after a big deer. Had multiple pictures of the deer. The neighbor guys had multiple pictures of it. And I'm trying to get eyes on it, see if I can't maybe get on this deer somehow early season and get it done.
I'm in Illinois, looking at the moon guide. It should be a good day. So, I've seen 2 bucks already, a couple does. Been sitting here since dark. It's just only been daylight now, about 20 minutes. Got 2 bucks behind me here on this CRP bank by this pond.
I could see about a 30-acre block of timber pretty good distance away from me where I knew one of the deer was probably hanging out. And sure enough, I watched that deer come out into that bean field. It was getting kind of late. I really couldn't get the camera on it, but man, that deer was a stud, and he just had my blood boiling. I knew it was a deer that I wanted to try to chase. I was pretty excited because the red moon was just a couple days away, and I thought, man, I might really be able to fall into this deer early. I hunted a couple more days, but I just never could get on that deer. I never got any more pictures of him. he just kind of vanished, and I don't really know what happened, you know. So I didn't want to pressure the deer too much because I knew I could come back sometime late October into November when the deer should really be moving, and I'd be on them. But meanwhile, Dylan, on October 3rd, same night I was sitting my first sit in Illinois, Dylan was also hunting the sheriff in Ohio.
Got set up. When I say we and myself, it is so much freaking work, self-filming and just filming your hunts in general, just breaking down all this gear and getting it set up day in, day out. It's a lot. I blew a couple deer out. I don't know how, but it wasn't until I got on my stand I walked right past them. Just hoping it didn't mess things up. But we got a beautiful setting tonight, I'll show you. Sitting on the edge of a thicket, on the edge of a soybean field. Oh my god. Guys, I just freaking smoked him. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta zoom this out. Oh my. I can't freaking believe it. I just smoked the sheriff. just happened. Whitetail Edge, baby. I got the boss on the phone, Ben Rising. And I just smoked the sheriff 20 yards. Huh?
That's so awesome.
Dude. Oh man, I'm so freaking blessed.
Yeah, well, you've had a lot of intel. You've done your homework with that deer.
I have definitely put a lot of work into that deer. Man.
You deserve it. You made a good shot too, looks like.
Huh?
You made a great shot, looks like.
Dude, it happened so fast, Ben. I got in here. I had a hunch about this spot tonight, but I got in, man. I had this wind. I had that wind blowing right out in this bean field here. And I knew this was his bedroom, and I was kind of iffy about getting that close. And I had does freaking blowing me back here. I'm like, what in the world? I thought my hunt was over. I had a couple does come over the hill, and then he just came out. Like, just I only had a second, man. I looked up and I was like, oh my God.
You had him where he was at. You knew right where he was bedded. I'll
Hey,
tell you that.
thank God he was 20 yards because I dropped my freaking rangefinder. My rangefinder's down on the ground. I just dropped it 10 minutes ago, man.
That's awesome, dude.
But
well, congrats.
Thanks,
Send me
man.
pictures later.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him some time here.
I'm in Illinois and I got rained out, so I'm walking back.
All right, man. Love you, brother.
Yeah, love you too, man.
Take it easy. Here's the arrow. Definitely a pass through. Oh, gee. Woo! G5 Mega Meat. Spartan arrow. Well, we looked for blood last night. He just isn't bleeding like he should. Found the arrow. It's completely soaked. Originally I thought I double lunged the deer, but looking at footage, looks like maybe I got a lung and possibly came out the liver. It could have came out the guts and plugged that hole up. It's just hard to say, but he didn't bleed like he was supposed to. But he ran down. There's a river bottom down there. We're thinking maybe he just ran down there to the water, and got Kyle here, got my buddy Josh, got my dad, and we're just gonna kind of go down there and see if we can find him. Can't wait to get my hands on him. Found the arrow wrapped up in here. Oh my God, he is. He's right freaking there.
Are you serious?
White belly right there. Yes, dude.
Oh, congrats, brother.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my God, man. Let's go get him.
Check your deer out, man. I see Dylan. He's right there.
Oh my God.
Look at the body on that.
We found him. I mean, he was only 25 yards from where I shot him. My buddy Josh, we literally got out of the side-by-side. Josh looks down and goes, there's your deer right there. Belly showing, came down here. This is a freaking toad. He is a giant. The G5 Mega Meat, no chance at all of this deer surviving. I'm just super blessed to be able to do what I love, and it was a short season technically from the start of the season, but I've been chasing this deer all summer long, running cameras, hanging stands, just the grind. I couldn't be happier. It all started last year. Started getting pictures of this buck. He was real sporadic on the farm. I guess we could say we were hunting this deer last year, but I mean, he totally blew up this summer. Started well, last year I was going shed hunting, and he was out in the field. It's the only time I've ever seen this deer on the hoof. Actually got a cell phone video of it, and never was able to find his sheds. I knew exactly where he was bedding, but just couldn't find his sheds. Well, starting back in July, the Spartans started getting pictures of him, and I knew this deer was something special. He really blew up. I obsessed over this deer all year long. Had a real good idea where he was bedding. He ended up switching sides of the farm. So the Onyx was really helped me pinpoint where this buck was sleeping. Was getting camera pictures of him coming in, coming out. Had a real good idea where he was bedding. I was hunting a stand a couple nights, and he just wasn't showing. He was coming in there after dark, and had a hunch about that spot last night. Went in real close to his bedding. My wind was good. Had a south wind blowing out in the soybeans, and he read the script, came in 20 yards, and I laid the hammer on him.
Oh my God. Guys, I just freaking smoked him.
You know, some of the factors leading into Dylan's hunt to be a successful hunt. Weather patterns coming in. Okay, Dylan knew there was going to be a cold front coming. The weather pattern was switching. He knew that this could get the sheriff up off his butt and headed to the food just a little bit. Whenever you get stagnant patterns, and I know you've heard me talk about this plenty of times, if you get stagnant patterns of heat, then all of a sudden you get a cool down, it's like a light switch, bang, makes the deer move. It could be serious weather, like darn cold in the winter, like days and days of super cold weather that just makes everybody feel ill, and then all of a sudden you get a slight warm up or some high pressure, it's a trigger, makes the deer move. But Dylan knew this enough that, you know, this cold front could get the sheriff up on his feet and maybe get him out there in the field in daylight. You know, the Moon Guide app is something that has become really huge for us here at Whitetail Edge. Even as you're getting close to the red moon, we notice more deer movement. You also got to take into correlation the weather patterns that may be able to trigger deer in the movement times. So Dylan took advantage of that. Dylan had been monitoring this deer all year, from black widow mock scrapes to, you know, existing scrapes on the outside of his bedding area, you know, using the branch butter in certain locations, getting the deer, you know, his picture on trails going to and from bedding in velvet, even into hardhorn. He was using mineral licks, you know, the big time nitro. This deer was coming into that. The Spartan cameras were playing a huge factor in, you know, telling Dylan some of the story. And he was shooting his bow. Dylan shot a lot this year, as you can see by the footage. He made a great shot. He let the deer lay a little bit just to be safe, but in all honesty, he smoked that deer, and it did, like he said, it went 25-30 yards max in the film. So pretty awesome. Really proud of Dylan. He's such a young guy, but yet he's coming on strong, and I think he's going to produce some big deer for Whitetail Edge for many years to come.
We just got set up. When I say we, I mean myself.
I just smoked the sheriff.
I got the boss on the phone, Ben Rising.
Yes, dude.
Oh, congrats, brother.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my God, man.
Let's
go get
check your deer out, man. I see Dylan right there.
Going 25 yards.
Wow.
Finally got my hands on it. Just, super happy, especially this being my first year for Whitetail Edge. The footage, everything, you know, self-filming is no joke at all. It's not easy. Couldn't be happier. He's a giant. We're gonna do everything we can to get this deer out of here. It's not gonna be an easy chore.
Thanks for watching Whitetail Edge. Stay tuned for next week's episode, which is going to be me in Ohio after a big deer we call the splits. The fork buck, split buck, you name it, whatever you want to call him. He's an awesome buck. Everybody talks about the October lull, but we're going to show you next week a little trick that you can kind of get on these bucks when things aren't the greatest.